Hi, I'm Pat Barnard, Group Managing Editor for TMCnet, coming to you live from IT Expo West in Los Angeles. And joining me is Warren Bent, Vice President of Business Development for InCharge Systems. How are you, Warren?
I'm good, Pat. Thank you.
Welcome today.
Thanks.
So I understand you guys are a new startup, and tell me a little bit about your business.
InCharge Systems is a startup company, as you just mentioned. We've developed a software solution that's available for integration with IP communication platforms that are being deployed by enterprises for the purpose of strongly authenticating the originators of those IP communications.
Okay, great. So what's the need for strong authentication on these communications?
Well, there's a whole bunch of potential needs for that, but the market that we're attacking right now is a developing market in the unified communications space. So a number of enterprises are combining communication tools on a common IP platform for productivity enhancing capabilities inside of their enterprise. The ability to use video, presence, all kinds of different tools inside the enterprise that don't work very well when they want to be able to federate with large suppliers, customers, that type of thing.
Right, okay. So when they're able to push these solutions out and share them with their affiliates and with their partners, that's where the need for the authentication comes in?
Correct. There have been some people who have described the market today as being more accurately described as fragmented communications instead of unified communications. So if you look historically back at certain tools that have operated within silos, think about instant messaging and text messaging going back years ago, the hockey stick growth there took place when you were really able to unify those across various platforms and federate amongst each other. So that's exactly correct.
Okay, great. So you guys have a booth here at IT Expo, and what are you hoping to get out of the show?
Well, we're in booth 730, so we'd love to have people stop by and see our booth. We have a demo that is set up there, so we can actually demonstrate for people how the solution works.
Okay.
And we're looking essentially for channel partners. We have some implementations currently in open source type of software,
Okay.
But we're certainly looking to expand those relationships.
Okay, great. Now, what industries or verticals are you specifically targeting, at least to start off with? I mean,
Well, there's some verticals that you would imagine would have even greater need for strong authentication. Examples that come to mind would be government, law, healthcare, financial services, those
regulated
types of things.
industries.
So sure. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're not at all limiting ourselves to those, but those are areas where we're getting the most amount of interest.
Okay, all right, great. Now, who would the typical user be for this software?
Well, the user extends out to the end user within the enterprise.
Okay.
But the end user within the enterprise doesn't typically know that. So the implementation is usually done by a telecom manager or an IT manager, somebody in the IT department in the enterprise.
Okay, all right, great. So can you sort of describe the interface, what it looks like, and what you would be looking at on screen is it basically like a roster of communications that are archived, and then you have the authentication information associated with each of those interactions?
Well, the end user doesn't really know that a signature and an authentication is taking place at the
Yeah, but I'm
time
talking
that
about
the
the telecom
communication
manager who might be looking
starts.
at it.
But as those communication sessions flow back and forth between enterprises, as that comes into the enterprise network, then they're able to see a validation of those signatures that are coming in.
Okay, all right, great. That sounds very interesting. Thanks very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. We've been talking to Warren Bent and coming to you live from IT Expo.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Take care.